Is Tiger Woods possibly guilty of sexual assault, sexual harassment? Well, we may or may not find out. Why do I say that? Well, his ex-girlfriend, Erica Holder, has sued him and sued the Jupiter Island Irrevocable Homestead Trust that owns his house. She lived with him. She left the house, left the property for a vacation. Tiger Woods' team comes up to her and goes, hey, listen, it's done. Don't pass go. Don't collect $200. Your relationship with Tiger is done. And now she wants to talk about that relationship. Why do I say that he possibly sexual assault, sexual harassment? Well, her lawyers are relying upon the Speak Out Act. The Speak Out Act states that a clause of a non-disclosure agreement that prevents someone from talking about sexual assault and or sexual harassment is not enforceable. And I'm going to give you my analysis as a lawyer. Yes, my name is Byron Brown. I'm a lawyer. I don't sound like a lawyer. That's why they call me the anti-lawyer lawyer. Come here for anything that pops in popular culture. I'm going to break it down from a legal aspect. So, what is a non-disclosure agreement? It's a contract that prevents the people who are parties to that contract from talking about anything they learned during their relationship. So employees at my business sign a non-disclosure agreement that they will not talk about what they learn here at the business. And non-disclosure agreements have been wildly upheld across the country. And this is a general proposition of why they've been held up. And there's probably some nuances from state to state, or there is, but necessarily a non-disclosure agreement is going to be upheld by a court if the non-disclosure agreement is no broader than necessary to protect a legitimate business interest. So we see this used a lot. Non-disclosure agreements are used a lot by celebrities for various reasons. We've seen Kanye West use it. Filed a lawsuit against an intern who was posting on Instagram things that intern arguably learned during the NDA. We also saw possibly did Black China violate an NDA that she signed with the Kardashians. Maybe the most infamous one that we heard about recently, Stormy Daniels had an NDA with Donald Trump. And then we also saw ones related to sexual conduct. A lot of celebrities, you hear rumors about different celebrities that require non-disclosure agreements to be signed before someone's intimate with that celebrity. Charlie Sheen was notorious for this. So you can say, why are people signing these NDAs? Well, in Charlie Sheen's case, I mean, he had HIV. They have legitimate business interests. And what are those legitimate business interests? Well, they're of such high value that this young man even created a business, the mobile NDA, where celebrities, hey, pull up their phone, they can have someone sign an NDA on the spot. Really handy if you picked up a cute person at a bar and you want to go home, right? Because that's what we typically hear from Hollywood as to why these NDAs are used. But they're used for a lot of different reasons. Now, but let's focus on that sex for 1 second. You'd say, well, what's the legitimate business purpose of someone signing an NDA before they sleep with someone? The celebrity doesn't want everybody to know about their sex life. The celebrity doesn't want anybody to know about the intimate details of their body, probably. That celebrity doesn't want anybody to know the intimate details of what transpired during that intimate interaction. And you could say, okay, well, what's the business interest? The business interest is the celebrity's the business. If bad news gets out about celebrities, we see it all the time, they don't get work. So if we know that one particular celebrity sleeps around a lot and has all these weird fetishes, if that gets out enough, that person might not be employable anymore. So it comes down to it though, what is Tiger's fate? If a judge determines that Tiger could be possibly guilty of sexual assault or sexual harassment, then I think the judge allows Ms. Holder to speak out as it relates to those allegations. Why do I say those allegations? Because like I said before, the Speak Out Act states that the clause that would prevent somebody from talking about those sexual harassment and or sexual assault allegations is not enforceable, but the rest of the NDA would remain intact. So the judge would likely hear arguments and evidence made by counsel in camera, which just means in his or her chambers, and then that would be confidential, and then the judge would make a decision about it. But if the judge allows Holder to break that NDA, it's only going to be as it relates to the sexual harassment and sexual assault allegation. However, we're not going to get that far in my opinion. Why? Well, let's see if I'm Nostradamus and I can predict this. There's an arbitration clause that is almost in all of these NDAs as long as the state you're in allows those NDAs to be enforceable. In Arizona, and I believe in Florida as well, and I believe in California as well, these arbitration clauses are enforced by the court. What's that mean? Well, that means that exactly what Tiger Woods' legal team already did. They filed a response to Holder's lawsuit and said, hey, listen, judge, make us go to arbitration. Well, arbitration clauses are within lots and lots of different contracts. And the whole point of an arbitration clause is, hey, listen, before we spend thousands, hundreds of thousands of dollars on lawyers, let's go to an arbitration. It's cheaper, it's quicker, and we can resolve it. What's that also do? Gives the parties the ability to settle. So what I think is going to happen, which happens more times than not, Tiger Woods is going to be successful with enforcing that arbitration provision. They're going to go to arbitration. Tiger Woods is going to pay Miss Holder a bunch of money, and then she's never going to talk about it again. And we've heard about this all the time. Why don't you hear anybody coming out talking about, hey, their sexual relationships with Ryan Gosling or Justin Bieber, or the list goes on. And I'm not saying that any of these guys are guilty of anything. But all I'm saying is, with today's social media and that people getting the ability to jump on and say wild things about anyone, which we hear all the time, you could see how the dissemination of information could get out very broadly and hurt someone's character. So, in this particular case with Tiger, I think it's going to be resolved. Remember about Stormy Daniels? You kind of heard a whole first blow up about it, and then it went quietly into the night. You never heard anything more about Blac Chyna. You never hear anything about any more of these particular things. Why? Because they don't want discovery to happen. If a lawsuit proceeds, the parties are able to conduct discovery, even if it's in arbitration. And then that's more information. You're entering into a non-disclosure agreement because you want your life private. So you enforce the arbitration clause, and then you go in and you settle the claim, and then no one knows anything. No one's the wiser, and you keep your image squeaky clean, which allows you to keep making hundreds of thousands, if not millions of dollars as a celebrity. I appreciate you guys watching. Anything that pops in popular culture, please come here to hear my legal analysis. Hit that subscribe button, share this video, and give it a like. I appreciate your support.